On today's episode of Afterthought Tokyo Revengers, episode 5, Releap. Finally, there is a series that answers my questions in regards to certain aspects left untouched when it comes to time travel, especially when you're talking about a time leap. Hina is quick to point this out in today's episode, that it's like she's dealing with two Takamichis, and she literally is. In her words, we have the kinder, more adult-like Takamichi from 12 years in the future, and then we have her version of the present, who seems to be getting distant and cold. Now, I think the best course of action right now is try to consolidate it as best you can. I mean, I see this being an issue in the future, that even if Takamichi does go in the right direction, once he leaps into the future, something chaotic will be caused when his former self regains his consciousness. The best course of action would be to leave some kind of trace. A note can be easily dismissed. It'd have to be some kind of video. Record yourself, let yourself know what's going on. Tell a certain secret that only you would know about. I mean, not only are you wearing your face and you sound like you, but now you know this intimate knowledge that only you know. Lay out the plan as generally simple as possible. Hey, first of all, stop pushing Hina aside. Obviously, you fucked something up when you ended up with a chick half naked on top of you. I mean, does the previous version of Takamichi thinks he's so hot shit because somehow he got out of under the thumb of Kiyomasa? What, you rolling with Tomen and now you think you're a big tough guy? Thinking like that is going to bite you in the ass. But yeah, I'm scared that all this work that the future Takamichi is doing is gonna be screwed up by the past Takamichi being, well, himself. And what makes matters worse, we're talking about a teenage delinquent with now large chunks of time missing, and all of a sudden he's in bed with high-ranking members of a biker gang. Like, dude, I don't know, but I'm so glad they touched on that subject. Hina was very smart to call him out. Speaking of Hina, I honestly think she is way too good for Takamichi. I mean, I don't care that it technically wasn't the current future Takamichi that did it. Still though, I'm so glad she gave him a right thumping. Like, my God, is the past version of you so oblivious to the fact that she likes you? Like, you are fucking lucky as shit. Okay, so now that we have time travel conundrums out of the way, let's talk about the actual episode. So we know that DRAKEN is going to die, and this completely changes the course of Tomen. So before he leaps back to the past once more, he decides to do a little info diving. We find out that he actually died during a scuffle, a 50-man fight right around the corner. I'm pretty sure they said 3 days away, or at least 12 years ago and 3 days. So Takamichi is not given a lot of time, but it seems the pacing of this story is actually very quick. We learn that there was a dispute between Mikey and DRAKEN, something that inevitably led to DRAKEN's death. So when we return and actually come face to face with Tomen, we learn that they're preparing for inevitable war, that a rival gang, 2 generations older, has done some pretty nefarious shit. Beat the shit out of one of the buddies of one of the higher ranking members of Tomen. Not only that, but raped his girlfriend and beat his family. Like, that's some pretty fucked up shit. So of course they're out for blood. So we know that the war is inevitable. That this is where DRAKEN meets his end. That for some reason a fight is gonna break these two up, which will lead Tomen down the darker path. So now it's up to Takamichi to stop it. And the only course of action he sees is to play delinquent's bodyguard. DRAKEN is all but keen on this plan. Like, dude, what the fuck do I need from a guy like you? The fuck could you do for me? I don't need no fucking bodyguard. But of course, this doesn't dissuade Takamichi, and Lee says, well, you know, if I can't guard you, at least I can be that ever watchful eye, you know, watching your back. And this gives him another great look into the relationship between DRAKEN and Mikey and the current state of Mikey. He's innocent and almost naive. A stark contrast to what we saw in the Tomen Gathering, where he commanded respect and admiration from fucking everyone. When he spoke, everyone listened. But it seems he lets his guard down with DRAKEN. I think that's because DRAKEN is a source of emotional and mental, probably even physical stability to Mikey. I don't know the age difference between these two, but it kind of looks like he looks up to DRAKEN, almost like he's a surrogate parent carrying around a make makeshift flag because he knows that Mikey, that's the only reason he orders from the child menu. Knowing well aware that he sleeps after naps gives him piggyback rides. And when it comes down to visiting the family member of the girl who was beaten and raped, when they came face to face with the wrath of the grieving parents, especially the father, it was DRAKEN who took control and simply bowed his head in respect, forcing Mikey to do the same. DRAKEN seems to be the heart of Toman, so it makes perfect sense that when he gets dispatched, Toman goes to shit. Gotta say, this series is so fucking good. These characters are already feeling so dynamic and deep that, like, I'm biting my nails hoping to God that Takemichi is able to save DRAKEN, that Mikey won't succumb to the dark side. Like, I don't know, I just fucking love this series. Anyways, with all that being said and more Tokyo Revengers next week, I honestly cannot wait for future episodes.